Well, guys, it's the new year. And for the new year, brings new things to my channel. And first ranking of the year is a ranking of a band that did an album last year. It kind of is weird to say 2020 is last year because it was such a long and it's the year where my channel grew the most over the years. Um, so first ranking of this 2021. It's kind of weird to say it, 2021. But we're going to look back on a band that did pretty good in 2020, Hatebreed, a band that I have followed for maybe since 2013, 2014 time period. When I was kind of getting into heavy music, this is one of the bands I came across that I didn't really dive into the hardcore scene mostly because of this band. This band mostly stayed my only favorite hardcore band out there. And to this day, I really don't like the heavy hardcore slash hardcore side of it, but I still like it. I still like this band's side of that, and those albums are pretty high up. Their original ones are probably. I'm gonna jump into number 8, which is the first album, of course, and it came in with a 9.3 out of 10. It's not low. I definitely think this band has pretty phenomenal albums. Satisfaction is the Death of Desire. Came out in 1997. I'm pretty sure 1997. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I really like to be corrected when I'm wrong on videos. It's definitely helps me grow as a channel, as if I'm corrected on stuff and I could acknowledge that I've been corrected. So the thing is with this album, the production's kind of low. A lot with the hardcore stuff back in the day. Production is really fucking low on them. Mostly budget. Usually budget. It's usually a budget production for bands that don't have, because a lot of those bands started out as bands that were underfunded in the beginning, and they created masterpieces with what they had, and this is what came of it. Like it. I listen to this album from. I don't really listen to it that much, but I have gone back to it a few times in the past, and I just did. I give it a 9.3. Really, there's nothing really that wrong with the album. It's just that the production's a little bit low, but given what they were working with on it's actually pretty damn good. I like this album a lot. I like all their albums. I don't dislike any of them. I can listen to any of these albums. Puritan's probably my favorite. I'll say that. Puritan's probably my favorite on this one. And then we go into number 7, which is their second album, the one right after it, Perseverance. I think it was a little bit of a wait before their second album came out in 2002, but this one I know is 2002. I Will Be Heard is probably the most recognizable track on here. Perseverance, You're Never Alone, Proven. The first half of the album is just in your face, fantastic. Then it kind of falls a little bit, but not to the point where it's bad. It's actually still, with this band, what I like, the thing is with this band, they are better when they are pissed off. And you could tell on the songs when they're pissed off. And this album was pissed off. Every single album is just them pissed off throughout the whole album, and it's just phenomenal. The production was a little bit better than their first one. Again, with the thing of the hardcore bands back in the old days didn't really have the funding, so a lot of these bands did phenomenal albums with what they had, and they did some albums that you wouldn't, like, some stuff on albums that you wouldn't think is possible with the production that they had. That's it. That stuff was pure perfection back then, and I still listen to some of the old albums from back in the day where the hardcore scene was going on. The scene's kind of fallen since then, but this is definitely a standout one. Next album, I'm gonna move on. Divinity of Purpose, 2013, I think it is. Yeah, 2013. And then the last one was a 9.5 out of 10, so it got bumped up 2 points. And then number 6 is Divinity of Purpose. That comes in 9.6 out of 10. The albums at the top of the list are a lot better, just to say that. There's really nothing that I can. A lot of the bottom half of the albums, this is a trend I see with a lot of bands, that the bottom half of the album is kind of just not as good as the front half, and this is what it does, but it's still enjoyable and still listenable, and still puts it at a 9.6, so it's still good. Put It to the Torch, fucking great song to start off with. The Language is a great song. Honor Never Dies, that song has a great fucking point, that honor never dies. Own Your World. Nothing Scars Me is probably the one that throws it off. Overall, a great album. 2013, definitely a great album from 2013. And that's when we move on to the ones that I have on record or CD. Where's it? Number 5. Number 5, this is the album that I found this band with. The song that I found this band was with In Ashes They Shall Reap. Hatebreed's 2009 self-titled release is definitely one of my favorites. It's a 9.8 out of 10. Between Hell and a Heartbeat kind of throws it off with the front part of that song. It's the only thing I could see that bumped it down a little bit, but overall great stuff. Like it's mostly when they started to get more and more, like, it's where I considered, like, this is to be the peak stuff, but there's just a song on here that throws it off. Like, if that song was not there, it'd probably be the number 1 album. Become the Fuse, great one to start off with. Not My Master, great one. Between the Hell and Heartbeat, like I said, the first half of that song kind of throws me off. For In Ashes They Shall Reap, the lines Born to Bleed is fantastic. Just, it gives me goosebumps every time I listen to it. Like, it's that, like, memorable to me. This album is so memorable to me that most of these songs actually do give me goosebumps from listening to them. Hands of a Dying Man, Everyone Bleeds Now, you probably know that song. No Halens for the Heartless, Through the Thorns, Everlasting Scar, As Damaged as Me, Words Become Untruth, Diminished, Merciless Tide, Pollution of the Soul. There's hardly any weak songs in this album. That's why it's so high up. That's why it's 9.8. For people that don't have the CD copy, that don't actually know what the CD looks like inside and out. I'll try to get more CDs from these guys. Definitely a great band. Definitely one I should have picked up all their albums by now, but I got out of them for a little bit and then went back, and so yeah, this is good. Then we go to number 4. Number 4 is the first 10 out of 10 perfect album that they've done. Number 4 is Supremacy, their 2005 album. I think, yeah, 2006. Oh, man, I got it wrong. Of course I did. I'm going to check if this is 2009. 2009. I got that one right. Good. Starts off with a song called Defeatist. Fucking fantastic. Fantastic start to the song. Horrors of Self. Mind Never All. To the Threshold. Give Wings to My Triumph. Destroy Everything. Everybody knows that song if you know this band. Destroy Everything. Divine Judgment. Immortal Enemies. The Most Truth. Never Let It Die. Spitting Venom. As Die Hard as They Come. It's Supremacy of Self. Great start, great middle, and great end. All the songs are fantastic. I like everything on this record. If this is the only, if there was only, as you know, one that's came out before this actually is somewhere above it on the list. This would be the second best one at the time that it came out. And overall, great stuff. Number 3 is one I don't own on CD. I wish I did. I'm trying to look for my thing so I could pull it up. It'll go through the tracks. Number 3 is the one that's the one that came out right before in 2003. The Rise of Brutality. This one I thought was just not as good as the ones up above it, but was better than the ones that were below it. And God, I used to not like this album for some reason, but God, when I look back at it now, I just fucking love this record. Tear It Down to start the album off. Straight to Your Face. Facing What Consumes You. Live for This. Doomslayer. Doomslayer is fantastic. Another Day, Another Vendetta. A Lesson Lived is a Lesson Learned. Beholder of Justice. This Is Now. Voice of Contention. Choose or Be Chosen. Confide in No One. Fantastic record all the way through. It is well more brutal than like Supremacy was. Perseverance was. It was definitely their most brutal album at the time, and then their self-title came out, and it was, well, the second brutal one, but it was better than the self-title. So that's what I gotta say about the Rise of Brutality. It's usually people's favorite, and I can see why now. Back then I used to probably consider it the bottom of the list, but now I consider it the top of the list. Shit changes. People change, shit changes. Number 2. Let's go into number 2. 2016's the Concrete Confessional, and you probably already know what number 1 is, and it's definitely a surprise for me that it got number 1. AD starts the album off. American Disease is what it stands for. Looking Down the Barrel of Today, classic. It's turned out to be a classic and a favorite Hatebreed song of mine. 7 Enemies, another one of my favorites. In the Walls, From the Grace We've Fallen, Us Against Us, Something's Off. Remember When, Slaughtered in Their Dreams, The Apex Within, fantastic song. Walking the Knife, fantastic song. Dissonance and Serve Your Masters. This album is, produced by, or distributed by Nuclear Blast. If you know that label, I love that label. I have tons of records, or tons of CDs from Nuclear Blast, and you could expect some of the best stuff from Nuclear Blast's catalog. And this one, I was like in high school at the time this one came out, and I listened to it first day that it came out, and I was just blown away. Like I heard Hatebreed's. I was just all into Hatebreed's discography with the self-title. The self-title was my favorite at the time, and I remember listening to this one and just thinking this is completely different than what they usually do. And I kind of didn't like it at the time, but I did like looking down the barrel of today. But now I can look at it and think this is definitely their best album that they've ever done, or their best album compared to the other one that's coming up. Seven Enemies, one that I just recently got into. I just recently got into this album. Yeah, nothing else to say about it. It's brutal as all hell, and I love it. Then we go into number one, The Weight of the False Self. Their newest one. Their brand new one for 2020. 2020's Hatebreed album. I think it's their fucking best that they've ever done. It's been out maybe a few months, and I've just listened to it I've listened to it like maybe 4 or 5 times already, and it's just fantastic every time I listen to it. It just never fucking wears out. Instinctive Slaughterlust starts it out. Fucking fantastic song to start this one off. Let Them All Rot, Pile Their Heads is what the fucking song says. Definitely a great song. Said it right, Start With Yourself. Great fucking point on that song. Weight of the False Self, cling to Life, A Stroke of Red, Dig Your Way Out, This Learned, Wings of the Vulture, The Herd Will Scatter, From Gold to Gray, and Invoking Dominance. I'm probably going to talk about this album more on the end of the year list, because this one will definitely be on there. There's no question. This one will be on there. There's currently, I'm going to spoil it right here. There's 54 albums I got to go through and figure out which ones rank where. And I'm going to consider the other ones on an honorable mention, and it's going to be out of 50. Like, there's no fucking way to do it else. And this album will be on there, and there's no question about this. This album is their most brutal that they've ever fucking done. It has elements of other stuff like metalcore, and like I even heard some blaz in there. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I just don't, because I like to do these videos. Like, there, I'm going off topic. This album is fantastic. You guys need to check this one out. What I was gonna say is, I mostly go on here and rant about bands' albums that I personally like, and that it's my opinion only. So I'm just here to make content for people that, well, just here to make content because, well, I have nobody else to talk to. So you get all of it. You get all of it in these videos. So yeah, that is it. That's my opinion on Hatebreed's discography, and I did it in 18 minutes, which is definitely too fucking long. But it's long for 8 albums. I went so in depth because I know it's I just love this band so much. So that's how I rank Hatebreed's albums. Hope you guys liked it. Go check out my Instagram and sub to me on YouTube. I know a lot of people that watch these videos don't sub to me. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm not saying to sub to me. I'm just saying that it would be appreciated, but you don't have to. If you don't like the video, you can dislike it, and it's fine. Now, it's just here for people to watch. You don't have to watch the full video either. If you want to skip through it, you can skip through it. You have my permission, because a lot of YouTubers say don't skip through the videos. Skip through my videos if you want to. I will say that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will probably be the end of the year one, which will probably be in a month, like maybe a month, maybe 2 months. I don't know. I'm busy as all hell with this. So I'll see you guys in the next video.